if you paid attention to the watch list last week, you know the Snapchat absolutely took off. I put Snapchat on there for the downtrend and reversal for their earnings report, and the next 4 days they did exactly that. They had the reversal, and then if you played the earnings report, you got absolutely paid. This stock went from $58 from the call out all the way up to $80. Last week was one of the best weeks we've had in a long time in my channel, and this week I think is going to be even better, if not the best that we've ever had. Amazon is high on my watch list. There's earnings report this Thursday. They're in a downtrend. They're not all-time highs yet. They're looking to reverse, and we've seen Amazon break out of these V-shaped recoveries many, many times, and they go crazy. So I'm looking for an all-time high breakout here, but I'm looking for this 3670 test all the way to 3,700. Once we get above that $3,700 threshold, all-time highs is inbound. I bet you we touch this 3,800 point at some point if they have a great earnings. All depends on the Federal Powell conference that's happening this Wednesday as well. So be careful of the rate decision that's going to happen starting on Tuesday, Wednesday. It might get a little bit choppy, but they've told us many times that it's going to be 2023 before they change rates. So unless they change anything, which I don't see it happening, we're going to see Amazon and the rest of the market continue to rally in this earnings season. So I'm looking for this 3670 break to 3,700. And then after this 3,700 all-time highs, going to get paid on Amazon this week with their earnings coming up. I also like Roku strength a lot. There's a lot of buying coming in here. You can see the shit ton of volume off of all the earnings projections last week. Their all-time highs is actually $486. I think we get to 500 this week. If not this week, the next. So I'm going to take some positions here. We're going to nice support line at this 460 mark. 460 is a nice breakdown for support. And then the 483 is where I'm looking at. Yeah, so the 460 for the resistance. And then we got this 486 mark is it's 486 is resistance, 460 support. So the support line is where you can see it to start to break down, maybe 456. And then below that, maybe 445. I doubt it gets like that. There's a lot of pressure here, but the support lines right here are 460 and then down to 445. After 445, I would start probably scaling in here again. But I really like this break around this 487 mark, 486, and then $500 is inbound. So I'm going to use this 460 as support to take a position, more so the call side for that $500 break this week or next. It might take a little bit, but that's a great play. Roku's huge on my watch list. Amazon's huge on my watch list. I also like AMD with their earnings this week. They have similar patterns here, forming an inverse head and shoulders on the daily chart, it looks like here. And we got a nice support line at 91 flat. So anything below 91, it's got a nice run up already. So maybe it's going to be a kind of, people are going to start taking profit with the semiconductors news being out. They're kind of struggling. Intel had bad earnings. So hopefully AMD doesn't really follow along with that. But I'm looking for this $95 break. Maybe even it'll touch 100. Like a lot of analysts have been saying it's going to. A lot of people are putting the price target of 120. So I'm looking for this $95 break to break to the all-time highs ahead of earnings. So AMD is high on the watch list. We got Roku high on watch list, Amazon and Apple. Apple is also reporting earnings this week. There's a lot of earnings. I'm telling you, it's going to be one of the biggest, craziest weeks. I think we can get right through 150, this all-time high. So that's big on my watch list. I still got my support lines here. I got 147 at support. I got a 148 support, but I'm really trying to play this 150 break. Once we get 150, I think that this stock soars higher. If we can probably see 155 this week, if not 160. That's a really bullish case, but I really like that. And then last on my stock watch list, we had Amazon, we had Roku, we had Apple, and let me just confirm this real quick just to be sure. AMD and Waste Management. Love Waste Management. This is my favorite stock long term just because they have a nice uptrend and everybody shits in a recession. So this is a nice industrial safe long stock and they're kind of a monopoly in the market. So I'm really looking for this 150. I've been long 150 calls for October for a long time, but after they report this, I bet you we could see 150 on a good report. Could see a nice gap up. So I'm looking for 150 calls here. I'm definitely going to try and break all-time highs here. Their earnings report is on Tuesday, I do believe, but Waste Management is high conviction, more of a safer and cheaper play for those that are trying to build up a small account still. But Amazon is my biggest watch list. There's a lot of honorable mentions this week. Just pay attention to cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency could go wild this week. I have a big position in Coin for their earnings in 820. SE could break 300 and Square is going to continue its rally, in my opinion, as well, especially if the cryptocurrency also does it. Pay attention for Bitcoin to be bought by Amazon, Apple, or more, but from Tesla on their earnings reports this week. Those are also big key players. So a lot of action in the market this week. We're gonna kill it, especially with these top 5 things that I think are going to move the most. And let's follow up next week on how we do. Amazon. Don't forget about Amazon.